And William, that's why you can't do that in those kind of places.
I know, but the moral of the story is Legos is what led to both wives.
Yeah, I don't care what did it. There's no reason to bring that kind of stuff up right now.
All right, fair. I see it's recording, so I'll go ahead and drop it for now.
Thank you. Anyway, so where last we left, you were about like chest deep in water.
Oh yeah. I made it to the control panel, but I hadn't started to push any buttons yet.
Hold on, guys.
Really? Right after we started recording?
The best. Anyway, I'm gonna continue. So Ymir was about chest deep in water. Tonks, you were down there about the same. Dadu, you were the only one that was still up in the same general area as when everybody started.
Love you back.
But it took you longer to get there. And Torch and Tonks, or I'm sorry, Torch and River are now at the control panel for the arena. You, however, didn't you make a roll? I don't know. I guess you didn't yet. Okay.
No, we hadn't.
Okay. So.
Yes, you did.
Huh?
I made a roll to get up there, but I hadn't made a. Maybe I asked if there was a owner's manual or something.
That's what
user guide, and I rolled for that, and I
couldn't find it.
Failed that. So. Yeah.
Anyway, so both of you are over here now, Torch and River, at this control panel. Like I described it last time, there are lots of buttons and switches and levers, and you know, it's the most complicated control panel you can imagine, like foot pedals and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all labeled. But it's all labeled in, well, actually, let's see, you've got Goblin. You've got, no. It's labeled in a language you don't understand. So at this point, it's really just kind of, what do you want to do?
Okay, we're trying to open the drain.
Correct.
May I please ask questions?
Sure.
The sign, I realize you can't read the language, but is it the kind of sign that's universal that she would be able to discern what kind of sign it might be? Or is it just a generic is it like a road sign or is it like an emergency sign?
That's something that I'll clarify. It's not a sign. Each of the individual controls is labeled.
Okay.
So like a soundboard.
Right.
With like levers that move and knobs that turn buttons.
It would say this is for speaker A, this is for speaker B.
But
in this case, it would be like flamethrowers, bats. Like.
Okay. And there's no pictures.
There's no pictures.
We roll for insight to see if we have like any gist of like what it might do.
That's a really good idea.
Let's see. Insight, no, but I will let you make a wisdom check. Same idea. It's just without the bonus, because insight is really trying to be able to lean into something that you're gleaning that may or may not be there. In this case, you don't have any idea what these things say.
So what about detect magic to see if there's some way, some magic controlling it too? All just buttons.
Not a bad idea.
Well, all you see are buttons and levers. You can do detect
that's
magic.
What I'm saying, detect magic, like because there could be something else at play besides buttons and levers, right?
Okay, sure. Yeah, your character gets detect magic. So don't they?
I don't know. I figured if I didn't, Kelly.
No, yours does not.
Okay.
Yeah, your spells, you get Mage Hand.
Okay, so
Wait.
you can push more than one thing at a time.
I got detect magic.
Ooh. Can I look
Oh.
around to see if there's anybody around
Huh.
that might know it and intimidate them? Do I have any intimidation?
There's nobody here.
Just nobody.
No, there's no, like, everybody's evacuating.
Got it.
Um, okay. You do have something that might help.
Mm.
I'm just looking at what spells you've got here. Yeah, River has Identify.
Right.
So Identify is primarily used to be able to identify what type of magic
Mm-hmm.
cast something or made something or whatever,
Yeah.
but it doesn't have to be. You choose one object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell, which takes 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
And then you gain knowledge about that thing.
Okay.
Now, what I can tell you before you bother doing it is that it's not going to tell you what controls do what, but it
Okay.
will tell you what each set of controls is for.
Okay.
So you can kind of guess from there.
Okay.
You want to do that?
What do you think? Torch. You are there with me. Do you think I should do that?
I think you're being very quiet.
Can you hear me? Do you think we should do that, Torch, or do you have another idea?
So sorry. Say that again?
Should I use the Identify spell?
Yes, please.
Yes. Okay, great. I want to do that.
Okay. Casting Identify.
It takes a minute.
Takes 1 minute.
Are we even in combat anymore where
No.
initiative matters or anything?
No, you're not.
Okay.
The only reason we're sort of going in any type of order is just to try and keep some order to what we're
Because we're
doing.
in three different places. Okay.
Basically, yeah. So yeah, you cast Identify on this thing and it takes 1 minute to cast.
Okay.
So, even though we're not in combat, a turn is 3 seconds.
Mhm.
Think about it that you're basically going to be there for what you would usually consider an entire battle.
Right.
So you're over there sort of like, you've got your hands on it.
Mhm.
They're sort of glowing as you're pressing them across the keys, trying to figure out which thing does what.
Mhm.
And it's not really giving you everything you need, but you are starting to figure out what this thing is,
Okay.
which, since you've never seen anything like this before, is definitely a leg up.
Okay.
So we'll come back to that
I
though.
have a question first.
Ma'am?
Does anybody have any kind of spells that like help somebody else like magnify their abilities or
Are you-
something like that?
Are you trying to make your Identify spell work better?
Yes.
No.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not laughing at you. I sincerely am not.
Well, then why?
I was just
He's
laughing.
laughing at me.
I was just laughing because that's a great
Uh,
thought. It
It's a
just,
good idea.
it just wouldn't work.
Miles, how far away is Lord Daddy from that control panel?
150 feet.
blast it.
What's that?
150 feet.
Oh, boo. Because I have comprehend language, which would probably allow me to read everything on there.
Maybe, but you can't see it right now.
Also true. But if she were to shout to me, and if I could hear it, and if I was in range, I could probably help. But I'm not in range, so it doesn't really help us.
You're not, and she could try and shout to you because 150 feet is not as long as people think it is,
But I can't read it.
but you can't read it. And the water is rushing in. So any type of check that you'd be making to speak that far apart would be with disadvantage.
Yeah.
So it'd be really, really hard to accomplish. So you're doing that.
Mhm.
What is Dadu doing?
But what are all the people that are still trying to, are people still just running toward the exit?
Yeah, they're running past you through the opening and out.
Okay, so people are getting to safety just fine.
Yeah, so I mean, even if you just stand back and make sure that nobody tramples anybody, you'll be in a good position here.
And Emil should already be out of this place because
That's correct. You told him to run.
yeah. And he was like, "You had me at run."
Exactly.
Okay. Where's the container with Gargalar?
That container is like, the opening where Gargalar would be in front of.
Uh-huh.
The glass container with the little mouse in it dropped there. So you can try and find it over there, but you've now had like a couple hundred people rush through there.
What a bummer.
I mean, it's not that you can't find it, it's that you could either wait until they're all out, or you could try and do it now with disadvantage.
Yeah, no. Well, I'll probably wait.
Okay.
I mean, I definitely want to go search for that. Because, when wouldn't you want a container with a giant gelatinous mass that you could break open at any point in time and stick on something?
You mean a gelatinous cube grenade?
Yeah.
Yes, William, I've made them.
Yeah, William, that's what I want.
If you don't see excitement, you should.
So cap comes off, that white part, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then that one's.
To quote my very first word, this character's very first word. Boom.
No, I'm making some flyers or something.
Maybe the universe doesn't want you to use that color. I'm just saying. So yeah, Lord Daddy's probably just gonna hang out, make sure nobody's really getting trampled. Check to see if there's any other bad things he can fight.
Okay. So basically your plan, look out as all of the innocents run away.
Yeah. I mean, I gotta be a hero at some point here.
Okay.
My
Ryan,
hero's not killing them.
I'll go ahead and put it on your sheet. I'm going to give you inspiration for that.
For not killing the people.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Because what you're doing right now is exactly what is inspiring. You are standing up for all these people that can't stand up for themselves.
That's so nice.
Good job, Dado.
So congratulations, you just gained an inspiration point. You can use it at any time in the game.
Does that mean
Oh.
you add that to your roll?
Uh-huh. So, Emir and Tonks, you're down in the pit. Water's still rushing in. It's up to for a dwarf, it's probably at about nipple height.
It's like knees for me, right? No, I'm just kidding. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
That's hilarious.
I'm so sorry.
Anyway,
okay. What are we doing?
no. So you're standing in this water. Your quarry, that's the one, has run away. And you are now too far down to be able to scale back out easily. Any attempts to climb out of here would be with a disadvantage. And Emir is wearing metal armor, which would make it challenging as hell to swim. Now, Tonks did hear out of there are 6 gates, 7 if you count the one that actually exits. But there's 6 gates. There's 3 on either side, either wall. And you were on the far side of the wall. And one of the 3 gates over on your left-hand side, Tonks, is where you heard the sound of animals crying.
While she's thinking, I'm gonna go ahead and say it out loud anyway. I was this close to yelling at Tonks, "You're shorter than I am," until what she was trying to say actually clicked in my head. That's why I had to mute it. I was laughing so hard. The clean thought is the first one that popped in my head. It happens every now and then.
How far, Miles, about would you say those those gates are, where I heard the animals.
I'd say the closest one to you is about 20 feet. And the furthest one from you is probably about 80 feet.
How limited is your movement in water?
It's considered difficult terrain, which halves your movement speed, unless you're in heavy armor, in which case it quarters it.
I mean, there are times this is really useful.
The most important times.
Did you know that Emir in Dwarven, it means anchor?
Does it-
But just on dry land means something completely different.
Right.
Meant to be a good thing.
Yeah, so what are you doing, Tonks? Other than watching Emir immediately begin to panic. I actually feel far more likely is that he's panting heavily, still holding onto the haft of his axe, looking at the gate that this thing disappeared through, unwilling to look away for fear that this thing comes immediately back in.
That's accurate.
One of those, I'm not going to put the gun down until it's morning.
What do you want to do? Do you want to chase him?
This is your turn. What are you gonna do?
Well, like in my turn, I want to turn to you and be like, hey, what do you want to do? Do we chase that guy and make sure he doesn't come back for us? Or do we just say, okay, we'll see you later, kick your ass again?
She would say that to you. She really would.
I believe you, but I would actually lean over and as your friend, I'm going to say, what would Tonks do? What would Tonks want to do right now? Would she actually just be worried about the animals? Would she say something? Would she make a mention, hoping that this is going to come out wrong? Please bear with me. I'm begging you to bear with me. This is in character. But would Tonks mention that there's animals over there, hoping I make the decision?
No. No, okay. So I am going to mention that during the fight I heard some animals over there. And if you want to, if you're over the Mr. Misty guy, I think we should go try and set those guys free.
You would say that out loud?
Yes, I just did.
Okay, I'm just checking because how I'm going to respond would depend on that. And this is how Amir would respond. Amir would stare into where it disappeared. And a loud bellow, I'm not going to do it here, but in a loud bellow would actually say out loud, and if he comes back, he'll get more of the same until he's done. All right, I'm good now. Let's go get the animals. Yeah.
I like it.
That's completely what I would do.
I believe that.
And so half movement or quarter movement would be what, 10 feet if I use both my movements?
Let's see. You are 25, so we'll say half, we'll give it 15 because you round up for a player. And then half of that, you'd be at 7.
Okay.
Or 8. I guess 8. So just because I'd like to keep it, in squares, the old terms. We'll say 10 feet. You get 10 feet in movement. It's less than half.
Tonks, I don't remember. Do you happen to have a dancing light spell or a flashlight spell or maybe a torch on you or something?
I'm looking. I don't think so.
I can't honestly say that I ever had the thought that my character would have ever gotten any experience in water. So I'm not going to metagame. But if I remember correctly,
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I looked at Heather's sheet, and while you don't have anything that is definitely lights, you do have the spell Fairy Fire. Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet light, your choice. Any creature in the area where the spell is cast is also outlined in light if it fails a dexterity saving throw. For the duration, objects and affected creatures shed dim light in a 10-foot radius.
What if she can't see what I wanted to cast it on?
It's a 20-foot cube within range. So you're casting the cube, you're not casting at a target.
And how far away from me is she?
She's like 10 feet from you, but the range on the spell is 60 feet.
Tonks, I'm begging you, please cast this spell.
Okay.
What is it gonna do?
Is there a direction you'd like me to cast it?
Around us.
Okay. That's what I'm gonna do then.
Okay.
So I'm going to surmise that as soon as she does that, something becomes visible to me. I shuffle my big
Oh,
metal butt
yes.
over to it, and I pick it up off the ground.
Yep.
do I need to roll something?
No, you don't.
Which,
Oh,
maybe-
he's finding his shield.
Yeah.
Got it.
Forgot about the shield, even though I told myself to remember.
Now, you usually, if you were going to be casting that and there were hostile creatures or even NPCs that I would want to roll against it, they would get a dex saving throw against your usual DC, but nothing in here is resisting it. There's no creatures in here but you, and he asked you to cast it. So yeah, you just create a 20-foot cube that, what do you want? Blue, green, or violet light? It's all your choice.
Violet, please.
There you go. Purple's the way to go. Okay, awesome. Yeah, you pick up your shield. There's something else though.
I would definitely lean down to examine it.
So it's further away from you, up against the wall in between two of the doors, like the two of the gates.
Okay. Two things. I will definitely start moving up towards that. And curiosity question. Did I remember correctly that we have water breathing on us?
You do.
But you don't know
That was
that.
it.
Yeah, that's true. Emir and Tonks don't necessarily know they have water breathing on them.
Can I yell it to them now?
I love the visual sort of like mental image I got right here. So yeah, of course, sure, why not? Like, you're right over the
Like-
edge. I love that the two of you
By the
are
way, you can breathe underwater.
trying to figure out what button and switch does what. And then Torch spins around and sees the two of you still in the water and goes, "Don't worry, you can breathe."
I think I still have a stone, right?
You do. You have the same.
And so does
Oh,
Torch.
wow. I'm all yelling for no reason then.
Everyone forgets their magic item.
That's okay. It was fun.
Well, the best part is, I get to respond. I get to turn around and go, what?
That really does only get better. That Torch turns around and shouts to you, and then Tonks goes, "What?"
I just see in my head Torch go, oh crap.
My bad.
Right. Speak into the microphone. Anyway. Yeah, so sure. I wasn't gonna make that a thing anyway, but yeah, you now know you have water breathing. But you make your way over to where you detect that other object. And you said you're gonna are you going to bend down to try and pick it up or just examine it?
Bend down and definitely try to pick it up, but just, put my hand on it, see what it feels like.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure how visible the water would be, but I definitely reach down.
Without being able to see it, it feels like two pieces of metal attached by a chain.
Ooh, pretty. And I pull.
Okay. You pull it up and it is not at all what you expected it to be.
Uh-oh.
On one side is a key, and then there are 3 chain links, and on the other side is a dagger that looks to be sharper than anything you've ever held.
Score. I'll never use it, but score. What's this do? No, Amir would actually say this out loud, hoping that the universe would have an answer for him. He's never gotten one, but he still does it.
Mhm.
It's kind of like, why does Dadu do the things that he does? He hasn't gotten an answer yet.
I've watched Game of Thrones. You just stick them with the pointy end.
Mask of Zorro training.
Ole.
I'm just going to say this out loud, guys. I really look forward to this.
What, D&D?
No, interacting with all, yes, D&D, but interacting with all of you, laughing, you know, getting Miles's goat and actually getting Brooke to smile and giggle and you know, embarrassing Kelly and dragging Heather out of her corner and giving Ryan reasons to come up with insults.
Wait, you think I need reasons?
No, we just think you don't say them very often because you're very kind.
Yeah. That's exactly.
Anyway.
Where's my sword gonna be?
Jeez. Everything.
Really?
It said they said they're on the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
The dog is getting so much bigger.
Hi, Bella.
So Amir
You
pulls
good?
that up and looks at it. Tonks can see this too, and Amir says, "What does this do?"
Yeah, that'd be exactly what I.
And now we're going to cut back over to Torch and River.
Okay.
At about this time, your hands aren't glowing anymore, and almost like muscle memory, you sort of just know what buttons and switches and levers are usually meant to do what things.
Okay.
So there's an entire set of controls that you know its entire purpose is for opening and closing all of the gates.
Okay.
There's one set of controls that you know is supposed to open the floodgate in case they need to drain the arena.
Right.
You know, one set of controls is meant to control all of the automated armaments. There are flamethrowers, crossbows,
Yeah,
things
I'm
like
not gonna
that.
touch that one.
And there's one that goes and seals the entire arena in a force shield in order to make sure that if there is something in there that shouldn't get out, it can't get out.
Okay, I want to focus on the one that opens the drain.
Okay.
How many buttons are there?
There are 3 buttons, 2 switches, and a lever. So what you've got is you can roll a d6,
Okay.
or you can just tell me which one you want.
I want to hit the lever.
I think I want to roll a d6. I don't know.
You want to rando it?
Yeah. How are you supposed to pick?
Actually, you know what?
Can
I think at this point, Ryan, you might as well go ahead
No.
and say it.
I will let you make an insight roll on this, because I feel like now it's more insight into how they would have laid out the controls.
not sleight of hand? You don't want me to make a sleight of hand?
You
or a
definitely
stealth
cannot
check?
make a sleight of hand. Sure, you can make a sleight of hand check to very gingerly move one of the controls without Torch noticing.
William,
+9.
I know you want the +9. You're not going to get it.
What about perception?
Perception lets you see what's going on or hear what's going on. It's not going to help you in this scenario.
Just roll a d6 then. So
Okay.
and hi, you scared the shit out of me. I don't have my right hearing aid in, so I didn't hear her come up on me.
No, again.
And then she
Way to go, Ninja.
I was like, ugh. I'm tired.
Mhm.
Let me finish my turn and then I'll take you to bed, okay?
Hey, so you let's see, button, lever, switch. You pull the first lever. It does not open the floodgate on the bottom. It does, however, begin to open up the
Really?
the drains. So you don't have your main gate open, but there are grates that are open on the sides that are now creating vortexes around the inside of the arena. So it's making it very hard for your friends to stay still, but it's not deadly.
So like it's draining the water in a bunch of different places?
It at all four corners of the arena, but it's
Okay.
not going fast enough to empty it because the
Okay.
water's rushing in too fast.
Okay.
No.
How many buttons can I try in one turn?
We'll
Can my mage hand, can I have my mage hand do it?
no, because that takes a full action.
Okay. Can I try
Um,
another-
what?
Can I try another lever?
You can make an insight check to prepare for the next one. Or you can wait until your next turn.
Okay, I'll do an insight check.
Okay.
What do you guys can? Hmm.
It's 2.
Yes, so for everyone to go to bed.
Oh, no idea.
Nothing happens?
You rolled a 2. Well, you rolled a 4 and you got a 2.
Oh, so I get nothing.
Yeah, you got nothing.
Got nothing. Great.
Okay.
I'm gonna go put children to bed, so.
Yeah, I'll
don't
pause this
die
for
while
just one
it's on,
second.
Okay, y'all?
It does for the squirrel.
Okay, cool. So that's what River's doing. What is Torch doing? Anything in particular?
Well, she got the lever, so I'm just gonna roll a d6 to figure out what I'm hitting.
Okay, cool. Try it.
I feel like I've hit the button and nothing happened. Roll, roll.
Oh, there we are.
Oh, okay.
That's okay. You pull the next lever, and it begins to open the center grate.
Woohoo!
The flat stone piece in the center starts to pull back, and beneath it is a much larger grate. Tonks and Emir, I need both of you to make a strength check. That's 19 for Emir.
That's just the strength that's up at the
Yeah.
top there.
That's the one at the top. Okay, cool. So Emir, with a 19, you plant your feet firm. Maybe it's just because you're extra heavy, or maybe it's because you've had to fight things like this before. But as the incredible undertow kicks in and begins to pull everything towards the center of the arena, you plant your feet and do not move as you see Tonks whip by you in the water. You are muted.
I'm not proud of what I said the first time, so I'm gonna say it differently this time. Can I make a grab for her?
Sure. That'd be a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, I'm screwed.
That's a 6.
I was that close.
Nice try. Thank you.
I think with a 6, you're not even like reaching down all the way to get her. You see her go by and you go, wait, no. You planted so firmly you just couldn't bother to reach all the way down.
I'm in heavy armor and water. Everything's slow motion with me.
I mean, not to mention the fact is the water is still high. So if you were going to reach all the way down to grab her and pull her back up, you would be submerged in that water.
That's
so
fair.
the fact that that dex save didn't work out quite that well, it probably wouldn't have anyway. Good night, baby.
When the recording's not on, I'll tell y'all later what I said the first time because really glad I wasn't.
So Tonks, you feel your feet get whipped out from under you by the current of the water, and you are underwater. Now, you can breathe water, awesome. But the incredible pressure of this water now rushing down onto you as it's got you gripped onto the grate, it is a lot. And I'm going to need you to make me a Constitution saving throw. Nice. Yeah, you're doing good then. So yeah, it's just like being underneath a waterfall, basically. From your perspective anyway. Just tons and tons and tons of water rushing so fast that it's pinned you up against this grate and you can't move.
Needing a full body massage. So
Right. There you go. Look on the bright side.
silver lining, man.
So then what's Dadu doing?
So Daddy's right by the edge to the pit, so I can see what's going on with the two of them down there.
You can. You couldn't see them initially because of how close to the wall they were, but now that they've moved out further into the arena, and especially now that Tonks has been whipped off towards the center, you can definitely see them now.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to ask a complex question and hopefully not have to do something complex about it and everything. Okay. The ceiling to this place. Are there any stalactites?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there one that I could hit with Eldritch Blast that would land in such a way that would stop the water that's essentially sucking Tonks into it right now? I don't want to stop the drain. I don't want to stop the water from draining, but I want to put a rock or something right there so that it stops pulling at her so much.
Well, at this point, it's not pulling at her anymore. It pulled her to the center of the room. So if you tried to knock anything off of the ceiling onto where that grate is, it would hit Tonks for certain.
Oh, well, that's not really what I'm going for with it.
Also, that is the exit.
Do you remember if you brought it inside?
Like the one that I've been talking about that River was trying to get y'all through.
No, you don't remember.
Oh, okay.
It's just not fully open yet. You open the gate, but not the grate.
I can check to see.
So gonna have to figure out which one of those things does that now.
Okay, so at this point, are at least the majority of the civilians, around me and on their way to safety?
We'll
Great.
we'll say they're almost all out by now.
Okay, so we have the place to ourselves pretty much.
Close to it, yeah.
And I guess in true alignment style and everything, what are the shops around me again?
Are you going to try looting the shops, Ryan?
Well, that's not something the paladin might do.
I'm only asking because I'm not going to bother giving you individual things on the tour, but if you want to go try looting things, there's nobody stopping you now, and I can just give you a table that you can roll off of.
Great. Where's the most magical item-y shop around here?
There's a trading post that no place in here deals in just magic items. But there's a trading post that like anybody can go up to and trade anything worth anything in for money, or vice versa. You could buy goods that have been traded. It's almost like a pawn shop.
I'm gonna head there.
Okay.
I'm not a rogue. I'm not a rogue. I'm
It
not a
is.
rogue.
It is vacant.
Great. So what can I see in this vast plethora of places?
Okay. Let me see where my table is.
Why are situations like this handed to us when I'm not a rogue? This is just messed up.
I only ever I bring this table up literally every time we play, and I never end up using it. This is the one time I didn't bother opening it. Okay, Ryan. So what I'm going to give you here is 3D100. So you're going to be able to find basically 3 things, maybe more, depending on how these rolls go. But I want you to roll them one at a time. Roll a D100, and I'll tell you what you get.
Okay. Rolling. So that's 37.
37. You find a potion of animal friendship.
Sweet.
Okay, next one.
Hey, that means Midnight might not try to kill him.
Ah,
That's a 9. 9 is a potion of superior healing.
Oh,
Ooh.
good thing I don't have anywhere to use that on.
And then one more. 52. Oh, wow. Okay. So I'll have to look up what that is then. I can tell you what the item is. I just don't have all the details on it yet. It says you found a spell scroll of 7th level.
Yeah, if you're actually ready to go to bed, but don't want to keep going up and down. the
So do I get to claim all 3 of those, or do I have to pick one?
stairs.
Basically, if you don't pick them up, then they don't go with you. You're the only one.
Yeah, I'm grabbing all 3 of them.
Okay.
You need to be completely.
You can divvy them up with your friends if you care to later, but since you're the only one in this building, you're the only one looting. If you
Great.
look back at the map, there are other places in here, but this place and there's probably only one other place in here that you see that are of any value, at least to your group.
Okay, so I guess I'll just start headed toward that place.
Okay, that would be the animal exchange.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to go back in there anyway.
All right, Ryan.
I mean, I'm sure I could have looted the shop more, but it seems like a nice haul. I don't want to be greedy or anything.
I'm not a rogue. I'm not a rogue.
You are not a rogue. And I am not a paladin.
Next time I roll a rogue, the first thing I'm buying is a bag of holding.
You don't need to buy a bag of holding. Buy a portable hole. It's better for rogues. If you don't know why, I can tell you.
I know.
I kind of want to make a rogue now because of that. It's just fun being the bad guy.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Okay, cool. I want you to
Although
roll
am I,
2D100 for me.
am I the only player that giggled when Miles said, if you want to dole them out to the rest of your party, you can?
I rolled
Come on.
100 and it only gave me oh, so it
Okay, I don't know if I need to nerf this. I want to see what the hell this item is. It seems broken from the way it's described.
I like that.
I think anything with the word magic in it is technically broken.
Huh. Okay, I mean, it's not broken, but it's definitely powerful. Okay. So you find buried at the bottom of a bird cage a ring of X-ray vision.
dang.
Yeah. I'll throw that there in case you want to look at it. And then I need one more D100.
Okay.
Something for a pally. Something for a pally. So, oops, sorry.
7.
Come on, item he can't use. Come on, item he can't use.
thought it was this one. Okay.
Thank you.
Here.
My honey brought me cake.
What kind of cake? I love cake.
It's it's red velvet. It has strawberry filling and whipped cream icing.
Nice.
Here. I'm getting the image for it because I want to be able to show you what this looks like before I tell you. I'm going to drop it into the session chat on Discord. Oh no, that's the ring. Never mind. This is what I was trying to do. This one. What you find is a sunblade.
Lightsaber.
I found a lightsaber.
So let me
That's what it
explain
looks
what the sunblade is to you and you'll understand. The sunblade is a longsword. The item appears to be a longsword hilt. While grasping the hilt, you can use a bonus action to cause a blade of pure radiance to spring into existence, or make the blade disappear. While the blade exists, this magic longsword has the finesse property, so it uses your dexterity instead of your strength to deal damage. You gain a +2 bonus to attack and damage rolls made with this weapon, and it deals radiant damage instead of slashing damage. If you hit undead with it, the target takes an extra 1d8 radiant. The sword's luminous blade emits bright light in a 15-foot radius and dim light for an additional 15 feet. The light is sunlight. While the blade persists, you can use an action to expand or reduce its radius of bright and dim light by 5 feet each to a maximum of 30 feet each, or a minimum of 10 feet each. You do
Yay.
require proficiency with long swords in order to use it. But otherwise, you basically have a +2 lightsaber that is damn good against the undead.
That's amazing.
What color?
I'm
is
dropping
the
that
blade?
in Discord as well. There you go.
What color is the blade?
Right now it's just a hilt. So I'm gonna let you.
Has it
Okay,
been-
I'm just gonna put this thought out in the universe. Heather, what's your dex bonus?
Zero.
What's Rivers?
For what?
Her
what's
dex
your
bonus?
dex bonus?
Oh, her dex bonus? 3.
William, what's your dex bonus?
I'll make up whatever number you want.
So, side note for all of you and everything, the character that is Lord Dadu, like the visual image character that you see, the green elf with the green shield and everything, carries a green lightsaber. My daughter made this for me years ago, and I just got a sunblade.
That's amazing.
That is absolutely awesome. That's the universe speaking right there.
And I think my daughter rather likes that. Now, that being said and everything, the sunblade sounds like a melee weapon of immense power. Also sounds like, somebody who was entrenched in fire would do well with it. So I'm gonna see if I can sell it later. I just want to see William's face.
That was fantastic.
Ryan,
That's cool, Ryan. That's cool.
that is all of the magical loot you find.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and as long as you're interested in grabbing it, we'll say between the places you've hit up, you find an additional 500 gold pieces.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Are there any animals still in the animal tent?
There are a few. They let out most of them, but the ones that were still considered dangerous, they left there.
What are they?
There's a dire wolf. There's a hellhound, and there's a nightmare.
So I have a potion of animal friendship. And I have 3 caged, seemingly well-to-do beasties.
Do you know what a nightmare is, Ryan?
Yeah, it's when I go to bed and I dream of things like William.
They're a black stallion that
my-
instead of hair, it is burning flames. And when they run, their hooves leave flaming hoof prints behind them.
Amazing.
Can one have a familiar and a steed?
Technically, yes. But I actually would have to look up what the hell the properties of that potion give you, because I don't know how long that'll last.
Oh. It's not a permanent thing. To be honest with it and everything, my first thought was if there's a child, stop texting me. I'm not going to do what you want me to do, okay?
Okay, so it gives you the effect for 1 hour.
Okay.
So what that means, though, is that you would succeed on your animal handling to get any one of these 3 creatures to work for you for 1 hour.
But after that and everything, they're gonna be their normal selves and
They-
probably
They also will return to whatever their normal state is if you attack them.
I have +2 animal handling, and I'm pretty sure Torch and Tonk still have it, right?
Torch has the best animal handling of the group.
That's what I thought.
But the point is, I'm not gonna open 3 cages with the things that could possibly just try to kill me.
Actually, Torch does not, Tonks does.
Oh,
Tonks has a +6.
Nice.
yeah, I'm not gonna open these things up and unleash them upon our group if there isn't a way that I can tell that they're friendly. The shopkeeper, although they weren't exactly helpful to us, they weren't mean in that way, and this place is no longer flooding, which means these animals aren't going to die, in theory.
Right.
So I don't have a sending stone, so I can't tell the animal lover, aka Tonks, about this and everything. And midnight is not here. I've been able to search the place high and low. The reason for being in this room is come and gone, and I got cool loot out of it. So I'm gonna leave, and when I get close enough to Tonks, I'll let her know that there are beasties there, but that they're gonna be okay.
So when you exit that shop, you'd be looking directly at where Torch and River are at the control panel.
Okay,
You'd be able to see your friends there.
great. I'm just gonna stroll on out of the shop, big smile on my face.
Okay. It takes literally nothing to get over there. Like where, I mean, the water is still rushing in, but it's all draining. It's just not draining fast enough to empty the arena. At least not until you finish opening it up.
So yeah, I'm gonna make my way to the 2 at the controls.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So I forget your other invocations. Did you take one that allows you to read the languages? Because there's one that lets you to read anything.
No, I don't. I can't find where my invocations are located on my character sheet.
They're under features and traits under class features. You've got agonizing blast, devil sight, and repelling blast.
Yeah, I didn't think so. I have a spell that's comprehend language.
Okay, yeah, that's the thing too. Yeah, so you would understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface on which the words are written.
Yeah, I don't know. Can I get over there and actually still cast this spell, or is my turn up?
By the time you get there, it's sort of, but remember, we're not really in combat anymore.
That's true.
So
So
you could make your way over there to your friends and help out with that control panel.
yeah, let's do that. Might
Okay.
as well.
Okay. Are you going to cast comprehend languages?
Well, if I don't, can I just roll the d6 and see what happens?
You can, but if you roll the d6, that counts as your action.
Oh. Well, being we're out of combat and in theory we'll rest before we go back into combat, I can regain the spell slot. So yeah, I'll go ahead and cast comprehend language.
Okay, immediately it becomes absolutely easy to read. Also, because of the way comprehend languages works, you're also immediately aware that it's Dwarven.
Don't you speak Dwarven?
Yeah, there are 2 dwarves in your party. Those 2 speak Dwarven.
Yeah, they're also at the
They're all,
bottom
yeah,
of
the ones
pit.
in the water who can, yeah.
I swear I didn't
Listen.
plan it that way. That wasn't the plan.
It's funny anyways.
It is funny. Anyway, yeah, so you immediately can read all of it. And you can see the controls that they're looking at. There's the 2 levers were pulled, and there are 3 switches. So the one on the far left turns on the defenses. The one in the middle opens up the grate in the center in order to allow into the floodgates. And the third one over sets a force wall over the top of the arena, so anything that's inside can't get back out.
So I can't imagine why we'd want to use that last one. And I guess people want to go down this tube. That might be a bad idea. So that would be opening that gate, right?
And freeing Tonks as she's stuck there right now.
Oh, well, I mean, that's always nice. So can I hit that button?
Sure, it's a switch, but yeah, you can flip the switch.
Alright.
I sort of love the headcanon of Dadu coming over with a bag of things that he's not going to talk about. And River is freaking out because she can't figure out which button to hit. And you're like, it's this one.
Look, y'all spent your lives being heroes. I didn't. Yeah, gonna do that. You have no idea how much I'm gonna use that in the future, Miles. You're the one who put it in my head.
I love that. I really do. Anyway. Yeah, so immediately the grate pulls back, and you can feel it slide along your back, just and then all of a sudden, whoosh, and Tonks is now going down the drain. Emir, from your perspective, you see this like massive pull of water, then goes, and there's just an empty spot where you know your friend was.
That's not really what I was going for with that. But hey, it does help us make up our mind as to which direction we're going.
Right.
So she actually did go in, or she's stuck at the entrance to it?
No. She went down the pipe. Like the pipe that's there is, to give you sort of a context, it's probably about 6 feet across. And it had a grate that was maybe about 8-10 inches squares that pulled back and now just sort of gave entryway to the pipe. So it is this big open pipe that just drops straight down.
And I see her, right? I see her go through.
You didn't see her go through. You know that she was pulled all the way to the center of the room where that area was. Before this happened, there wasn't like an empty space there. It was just clear that the water was rushing there. Think rapids. And then all of a sudden, boom, and it is now waterfall.
Okay, can I react?
Yeah.
As I leap for the hole,
That's what she
with
said.
all my might, just let go, just dive for the hole. I yell out, Dado. That's it.
Like
I
in
would-
a positive or negative way.
What was your tone exactly?
Yeah.
Oh, no!
I really do. That is so Dadu too, because he'd be up there. I don't know if I want to follow it.
Well, he's like you.
No hesitation whatsoever, though. I
And it's
just
reasons
leave.
like that that Dadu isn't the leader.
I figured
Okay,
Torch was too far away, though.
so the three of you witness first Tonks whoosh down the water hole, and then Emir immediately run and jump in after.
I'm gonna look over at Torch. I suppose you want us to go that way, don't you?
Well, we have to go after them, no?
Are you asking me that question? There's a couple more shops around here.
Okay. So I need you to, so that you're clear on what's going on around here. The water that's in this area, like in the arena, is still deep enough that if you jumped into it from where you're at, you wouldn't hurt yourself. But it's only going to be like that for probably another 2 rounds, because that water is draining quickly. Not to mention your friends are in question mark danger.
I know they
I
can
have-
breathe. I just don't know where they're gonna end up. Like, are we
Right.
just gonna be spat out into the sea or what?
They can breathe perfectly. They're just impaled.
Out of curiosity, would one be able to dash toward the entrance, find a gelatinous cube in a container, and then jump down into the pit without hurting oneself?
No.
Oh. Well, it was nice knowing you guys.
What?
I have a question.
Yeah.
From where we were in the pit, I'm pretty sure the answer is no, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Were we able to see the cages and the occupants of the cages that Dado saw?
No, because so the ones that you were hearing from inside of the arena were different entirely.
Okay.
Yeah, he had gone into the shop that was up above in the market. What you were hearing was behind one of the doors inside of the arena.
Okay.
But
Thank
all
you.
those BC should be fine now because
Mhm.
we've
Yeah,
drained the
they're
water
not
out of there.
out of danger now.
So yeah, they're out of danger. You're in danger. Well, maybe. So what's it gonna be, Torch?
I'm jumping down and going down the hole.
Is River also gonna be doing the same?
Yeah, I'm gonna just go ahead and use God powers and say yes.
Well, I suppose since I accidentally flushed my friend down trying to clear the water, I should go down after and see if I can't find her.
Flush me down the toilet, man.
You pulled the plug. Okay.
Point of order. She doesn't know he did it. I
No.
don't think we're ever gonna know he did it.
There are 3 people in this party that know who did it.
To be fair, they both tried to do it before me. They just failed at it.
I was going to say, however, all 3 of them are guilty of trying to do exactly what he did.
I
Our
just
goal of
succeeded.
opening it was before Tonks was stuck on it.
That's fair.
I'm with any ill will, I promise.
Okay.
I do.
So it's only a couple of seconds in between each of you going down there. So we'll say more or less one after the other. You start sliding down this pipe. It's not completely filled with water, but it is at least 3/4 filled. So at least you've got that water breathing. I expected this to be a much harder thing for you. But as it starts to go down, you can see further down the pipe, it bees. One side is covered in, it looks like some sort of a mesh with like razor wire sticking out of it that's being used to collect debris. The other side is completely open. I need everyone to make an athletics check to go the right way.
Oh dear.
Jeez.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh God.
I refuse to give her a nat 1. I am not taking credit for that roll.
we didn't see nothing.
Oh no, I'll own up to it, but I am not like she can roll her own damn dice.
I think that actually works perfectly because you just try to put a cat in water.
It's true.
Okay, so
Um,
actually
As she screeches to a halt at the edge of it. Someone push me. Someone push me.
actually Emir, since you're in heavy armor, you need to make it with disadvantage.
All right, I could do that.
You still can hit the DC.
15 and 13. So 13.
Okay, yeah, still. Okay, so Torch, Dadu, and Emir, you all hit the DC just fine. River and Tonks end up being the ones that impact the wall. And you are going to take
A smack to the face.
6 damage.
doesn't that mean that also the party's effectively just been split?
No. What it is they hit it and then were pushed back off. Imagine like a spring. It was a hazard, but it was not going to go a different direction.
Okay.
Think random encounter table, except it's a thing and not a person. And this spits you out into what looks to be an underground reservoir. You don't know how far you've gone down beneath the city at this point. You know that it is now further down than the modern sewer that you're aware of goes. So this is something deep.
What
From
kind of
down
lighting
here,
do we have here?
from down here inside of this pool, you can actually smell like the natural chemicals, like the methane that's in the air. And you can very barely hear the sounds of labored breathing.
We found Ivor? Just saying.
What did you say?
Have we found Ivor? He's been missing for a long time.
That's all you hear, this ominous, heavy breathing out in this limitless dark space.
So it's a limitless dark space, but I've got Devil's Sight, so can I see it?
You do have Devil's Sight, but even Devil's Sight has a range.
That's true. I think it's 120 feet.
I think it is 120 feet. I'm looking right now. 120 feet. Yeah, so you can see out into the darkness better than most. Actually, better than anyone else in your party. But you still don't see whatever this is. There's no ripples in the water aside from the ones that are around you from where you landed. There's actually nothing down here. No signs of any animals, no plant life.
Okay, Lord Dad is going to take just a minute, and he's going to send a telepathic signal to Kiddo,
Mhm.
telling Kiddo to go back to the Rotten's hideout.
Okay.
Sit on the bed or perch on the bedpost until I return.
Okay, that's a safe thing to do, and you're actually still within range to do that, so sure. You know that will put Kiddo out of range for you to be able to contact them directly unless you cast Find Familiar again.
It's okay, as long as Kiddo's safe until I can get back to her.
I figured that's what you were going for, but I just wanted to make sure you were aware.
Yeah, but I want her out of the cave.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Now, let's see. Yeah, so you all land in this water. It's warm. It's hot in here, almost humid. What are you doing?
Hey, real quick, Miles. Can I have you give me the list of stuff that I got again?
Which stuff?
The loot that I picked up.
Yeah.
Are we all kind of around each other?
Yeah, you all sort of landed in the same area. I put the link for the Ring of X-ray Vision and the link for the Sunblade in the session chat in Discord.
Okay.
And then other than that, you got the potion of the one with the for the animals.
Potion of animal friendship.
Animal friendship, that's the one. Then you got a potion of superior healing.
Uh-huh.
And then I still haven't looked up your 7th level spell. So
Okay.
I'll look that up in a minute.
Drive me crazy.
Look over here on you, right?
Really?
Manage spells. Okay.
Come here,
I think it looks like
Bella. Come here. Oh, bud. Pubs, am I right, Ryan?
Yes, they're amazing.
I want to ask everyone if they're okay, and then ask if we should risk light or
7.
no.
I mean, you and I don't really need it, so
I don't need it at all.
Miles, will it distract you if I say I want to do something?
Nope, not at all. I was just looking at spells here.
So I could hear the breathing if I'm remembering correctly, right?
Mhm.
Divine sense should be within 60 feet of me.
Wait. If I have a range of 120 feet and I can't see this thing, why would you cast something that you can only hear for 60 feet?
As an action, you could detect good and evil. Until the end of next turn, you can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial, fiend, undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. Sometimes it's handy to know what you're facing.
Ryan,
Yeah.
the 7th level spell scroll that you found is Finger of Death.
You officially need to stand in front of me at all times.
I think I've read that spell once or twice before.
So here's how things like this work though, Ryan. A 7th level spell, you can either use that scroll as it is and it just works as it is. Or if you get to the point where you are a high enough level to cast a 7th level spell, you can then just learn it.
I see.
So, but I believe that you can learn that spell anyway as a warlock. But I will see. It takes 1 action. It's got a range of 60 feet. It's instantaneous. You send a negative energy coursing through a creature that you can see within range, causing it searing pain. The target must make a Constitution saving throw. It takes 7d8 plus 30 necrotic damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. A humanoid killed by this spell rises at the start of your next turn as a zombie that is permanently under your control, following your verbal orders to the best of its ability.
Wow.
Finger of Death is the necromancy spell.
Finger of
Now, if I have this scroll, how many times can I cast it without being that kind of level?
Restarting.
Using the scroll uses the scroll.
Okay.
But if he gets to that level and he has that spell as one of his personal spells, he can cast that spell, plus he can cast the scroll without having to take a rest, right?
That'd be correct if you wanted to keep the scroll. However, Finger of Death is a 7th level spell for sorcerers, wizards, and warlocks. So that's the kind of thing that could be very helpful if he was to learn it and then pass it off to somebody else that he knew that was a sorcerer or a wizard that could cast those spells too.
You know, one of the nice people and everything who leads our group in good directions and doesn't do.
The major difference in the way that you acquire spells too is that warlocks, they can acquire spells from those scrolls without them being destroyed. Wizards can't, because in order for a spell scroll to be put into a wizard's spell book, it has to be transcribed directly. So basically you're copy pasting the thing in there, and in doing so, you ruin the scroll, so it will not be usable anymore.
There are benefits to being a warlock. Nice.
There are. Most of them come in the little things that your patron gives you that make things just a little bit easier for you.
Oh,
It's like being a cleric, except it's more malevolent.
So, Miles, with my divine sense, do I detect any evil within the 60-foot radius of me?
I mean,
Except for him.
You do detect Dadu. Well, I mean, Dadu's got an E in the line. So yeah, you detect Dadu. But within 60 feet, you don't detect anything.
So nothing celestial, or was it fiend or undead?
Correct. Within
Okay.
60.
I pass this on to everybody else. There is no undead, there is no holy thing, and there is no demon. So we got that going for us. Whatever that sound is, it ain't that. Torch?
Within 60 feet.
I'm
Oh,
pausing.
someone's a ray of sunshine tonight.
I'm thinking the breathing is farther away from us than that's all.
We're back.
all right.
Rude.
Okay. So what's the plan then, y'all? What do you want to do? There's a shore you can climb up on. It's rocky because it's just like the rest of the walls.
Also, while looting, I'm being told to make sure that I mention this. While looting, I came across 3 animals that were in cages still, one of them being a nightmare, and I passed up on freeing it. My daughter's making sure I tell you all that because there was a nightmare fire horse and I didn't get it.
She is disappointed.
It's all right. We're only level 5. Let's see what happens. I think a nightmare is actually a CR 9. So you're almost on par to be able to ride it. Anyway. So what else? What are we doing? Like, think about it. There's this big open water in front of you that you've sort of coasted into. On the left and right side of you is this rocky shore that you can climb up on that skirts around the outside of this lake. And oh, by the way, you are further down beneath the city than anyone knows.
Okay.
It's beneath the sewer, beneath everything, and nothing's been down here in who knows how long. Right.
Great.
So what are you gonna do?
I say we swim for the shore and follow the person who can see the best.
Yes, I think that is an excellent plan. I do not want to be in the water.
Cats hate water.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, you also got hurt on the way down.
Oh,
Yeah.
We didn't roll so good.
Well, actually, I said that I'm going to let you roll because I rolled a nat 1 for you, and that's not fair.
Oh,
And
that's
hey,
messed up.
you threw a cat into water. The one just made sense.
Here. Click your athletics.
So Dado actually said that out loud about the creatures.
Did I do it?
I would have fist bumped Tonks and
Yeah.
said magic bridle.
Mm-hmm.
There.
Torch.
That is
I
an-
would have said
That's an 8.
hellhound.
Way better than nat 1.
So sounds like you. I'm just gonna put that out there. And crossbows are fired very effectively from the back of a hellhound. I think that thought should be said.
I do need to write something that isn't gonna throw me off or throw me up in the air, right?
Right.
Or that like you stick to.
To which Lord Dad is gonna add, you do. It's called the cart.
Oh.
I will strap my shield to my back where it normally is supposed to go. I will go ahead and sheathe my axe and I'll start making my way towards shore.
So I guess if they're all following the person who can see, they're probably following me then.
Probably.
Great. Where's the shore at? Is there a shore that we can actually see?
Yes,
Yeah, he
that's
said
what I
that
was saying.
twice.
It's like about 10 feet to your left or to your right. You can climb out on a rocky shore.
Right.
Okay. You climb up onto the shore and you can hear rocks up above you and somehow further away, sort of like crunching up against each other, and then toppling. And you can hear stone hitting stone, but you can't see it anywhere, which gives you this very ominous feeling about how big this space is.
Yeah. I'm feeling a little claustrophobic,
But it's really big.
but we're underground.
Oh, you're very, very underground.
Feel that. Yeah.
Down, down to Goblin Town.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? There might be Ninja Turtles.
Those are my favorite.
Look, y'all be fans of the Turtles. I be a fan of Splinter.
Okay. I'm a fan of Bebop, but that's me. Who doesn't like a funky warthog?
Seriously.
Okay, so we're on the shore now.
You're on the shore now. So I assume the shore is only wide enough for you to go one at a time. So you'd have to go in a single file line. Who's going to be in front?
Got it.
I will. I'll lead it.
Anybody else hear the bus?
I'll lead it. So all I can see is just pretty much empty space.
Yeah, as soon as you climb up there, you can see as you get up on the shore that the rock wall continues to go up, higher and higher. And you can see that there are like alcoves and things that have naturally been like carved into the rock over who knows how many millions of years.
Oh, no,
Oh no, we lost Kelly.
we lost Kelly. Wow.
We did.
Oh,
There she is.
there she is. Okay.
Where's that?
Hold on.
Okay.
So yeah, you see this wall just stretching up like forever up into the darkness. And then further ahead, you can see the shore continues onward. Make a perception check for me, Ryan. So everybody in this darkness can see 60 feet ahead. Ryan can see 60 feet past that.
Okay.
That's awesome. That's a
Damn.
dirty 20, man. All right.
That is a dirty 20.
Haven't heard that in a while.
Okay, cool. So you look further ahead down the shoreline and you see what looks like almost like pipes or tubes. It's very out of place for a place that's this natural, but they seem to be moving almost on their own. Think like a more flexible hamster tube, and it's just sort of doing this on the ground about 110 feet ahead of you.
Can I hear, or can I, based on the breathing that we can hear, Can I tell which direction it's coming from at all? No. All right. Well, I'm gonna look at the group and tell them, hey, about 100 or 115 feet or 110 feet ahead of us in this direction, it looks like there's some moving pipe things on the ground. In the other direction, there's just empty space. So we might as well go toward the pipe things. Torch, is that good with you?
Yep.
All right, so onward we go.
So as you move forward and get to where those things are, they look actually, when you get closer, they look like roots. They're about as big around as my arm, and they're purple. And they are covered in long black veins. And they're sort of moving unnaturally. And you see them stretching off into the darkness as the shore that was going straight begins to take a curve.
Hey, Ymir, you wanna touch that? See what that is?
Yes. And I reach out with my gloved hand and touch it.
How Bear Grylls are we getting tonight? Okay. You touch it.
And it sucks you into the painting.
And that's where we're ending game tonight.
Yeah, I should just call this game Painting Crashers. All right, so I'm trying to think of what you should roll for this. I'm gonna say make a wisdom save. Yeah, not a check, a save.
I don't suppose we can assist him on that.
13's pretty good though. Get my dice out.
The older I get, the wiser I come.
Take 10 points of damage. You reach out and you touch this thing, and it backlashes you with pure negative energy.
Ouch.
It's not evil, but it is a darkness unlike anything you have ever felt.
I don't think anybody else should touch the purple thing.
In fact, when Ymir takes his gloved hand away, his glove is smoking.
Amir has a lot of sarcastic phrases in his head that his religion will not allow him to say. But if Dadu looks in Amir's eyes really carefully, he can see some of it.
But when you touch this thing, it goes stiff, like straightens out hard, and then begins to retract back into the darkness.
Oh.
Yeah, that's right. Stay away from holy people. I look at the rest of the member of my party and say, do not touch that. Bad. Muy not good.
You should not have come.
Did we just hear that?
Yep. And that's where I'm ending game.
Do we have XP hand being handed out tonight?
Yeah. Let me figure out between all the things you did how much XP you should be getting. Let me get my calculator out.
I vote I get bonus from causing that reaction out of the thing.
I second.
Hey, hey, Ymir, I'm just curious. How many hit points you got left?
11?
I mean, watch.
I am like a caster right now. Holy crap.
It said you shall not have, or you should not have come. Okay.
For the record, Heather, thank you very much for taking those notes.
Don't thank me too hard. I didn't take any last time. I was too enthralled.
I know, but there's a bunch of times where you actually remember stuff that we all forgot too. So it's much appreciated.
Oh, you're welcome.
He's our party secretary.
I mean, I was gonna go with party scribe, but yeah, you can go with
Oh,
that one.
scribe. I was thinking historian at first.
Ooh, I like that too.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
yeah.
And it would make sense. A bard would take notes on what's going
Bard
on.
would remember the tale.
Right?
Take us some songs.
Exactly.
That has always been my own inside joke about D&D is that any party that has a bard in it, what we're doing is actually the bard is telling the story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
just imagine.
Which is the reason why sometimes it doesn't make any sense. But wait, you're telling me that he's practiced with that sword his entire life? Yes. And he still missed it? Yes. And it was asleep? Yes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes nat ones happen.
Yes, yes, you do.
Okay, so between all of this, we're looking at 1,800 experience points.
Yes.
Add those for me.
Whoa.
That's
Uh-huh.
badass. Thank you.
So what are we at?
Wow. 1,000, or excuse me, 12,530.
I'm just gonna wait. I'm sorry, what?
12,530 is what we should be at,
There you go.
if my dunculations are correct.
If your calculations are correct.
I'm sorry, say how much we're adding again, please.
We're adding 1,800.
Thank you.
12,530. We're so close.
We are so close to level 6.
Yep. All right.
Oh.
We're gonna hit level 6 in a deep, deep, deep dark cave, and Ymir might make it back to safety.
That's what this is. This is just slowly but surely eating away at all of the paladin's hit points.
Maybe that should be our first order of business when we start game next week. Everybody heal.
Everybody heal and have a long rest.
Ymir is literally down to 3 hit points and is like, I'm not done being a tank until the treads fall off.
That's 100%. Shield still works. I'm fine. They're over here.
And,
Right.
and
You're
Lord Daddy would
bleeding
look at
out.
him and
Yeah, but
say,
he's bleeding faster than me.
Lord Daddy says, hey, go touch that vine again.
As I grab your wrist and reach it towards it.
I have a sunblade for that.
Oh yeah.
To clarify, not for the vine.
Yeah.
Clarify, not for the vine, for your hand going for my wrist.
Got out the whiteboard and we're doing equations.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording for this week. I just want to go ahead and tell everybody thanks for coming. I love getting to do this with y'all. I love our group, and I'm so happy every time we get to meet. Thanks for
I'm
being.
gonna echo that. That is awesome. I love hanging out with you guys and doing this.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.